Spiders, the silent architects living inside our homes. The creature in the corner. In the quiet corners of our homes, small shadows sometimes move unnoticed. A delicate thread stretches between two surfaces. A nearly invisible structure catches the light. And at the center of that structure waits a spider. For many people, spiders inspire discomfort or even fear. Their long legs, their sudden movements, their quiet presence in places we do not expect. But behind that unsettling appearance lies one of the most remarkable animals living alongside us. Spiders are not insects. They belong to a different group of animals known as arachnids. That group also includes scorpions, mice, and ticks. Unlike insects, spiders have 8 legs instead of 6. They also lack wings and antennae. That what they lack in size, they make up for in extraordinary abilities. Nearly every spider on Earth is a predator. They hunt insects and other small creatures. Many of the spiders that share our homes spend their lives quietly controlling populations of flies, mosquitoes, and moths. In doing so, they perform a service most people rarely notice. They help maintain balance within our environments. And perhaps the most famous tool spiders use in their work is their silk. Spider silk is one of the most fascinating materials produced by any living organism. Ancient hunters, long before the first dinosaurs walked the earth, spiders were already evolving. Their ancestors appeared more than 300 million years ago, during a period known as the Carboniferous. At that time, vast forests covered the land. The atmosphere held higher levels of oxygen than today, and insects grew to enormous size. Dragonflies with wingspans as wide as birds filled the air. Among the ancient forests lived early arachnids, primitive hunters with segmented bodies and simple silk-producing structures. Unlike modern spiders, the early ancestors did not set build the complex webs we see today. Instead, we used silk primarily for lining pearls or protecting eggs. Over millions of years, spiders began to refine their use of silk. Some species learned to spin simple threads that could catch passing insects. Others developed the ability to produce different types of silk, sticky silk, strong structural silk, flexible silk used for movement. The innovations gradually led to the development of spider webs, and once webs evolved, spiders gained a powerful advantage. Instead of chasing prey, they could let prey come to them. a web became both trap and sensor. Every vibration traveling through the silk told the spider what was happening nearby. A struggling insect, a falling leaf, a potential predator. By reading the vibrations, spiders could understand their environment in remarkable detail. And as spider evolution continued, their hunting strategies became more diverse. Some species perfected the art of web building, others abandoned webs entirely and became active hunters. Today, spider diversity spans an enormous range of forms and behaviors, from tiny jumping spiders with excellent vision to large orb weavers that spin massive geometric webs. Each species represents millions of years of evolutionary refinement, but perhaps the most fascinating ability spiders possess is the material that made all of them possible: silk. In the next part, we will explore how spiders produce one of the most extraordinary biological materials on Earth, a material that has fascinated scientists, engineers, and naturalists for generations. The science of spider silk. One of the most extraordinary abilities spiders possess is their ability to produce silk. At first glance, spider silk may appear simple, a thin thread, almost invisible, easily broken by passing hand. But in reality, spider silk is one of the most remarkable biological materials ever discovered. Gram for gram, some types of spider silk are stronger than steel, yet at the same time they are incredibly flexible. A strand can stretch several times its length without breaking. The combination of strength and elasticity allows spiders to create structures that are both delicate and durable. Inside a spider's body, silk begins as a liquid protein. The liquid is produced by specialized glands located in the abdomen. Different glands produce different types of silk. Some silk is designed for building the framework of webs. Some is used for wrapping prey. Others are sticky strands designed to trap insects. At the end of the spider's abdomen are small structures called spinners. They act like tiny spinning machines, and the liquid protein passes through them and solidifies into silk fibers. The spider can control the thickness, strength, and placement of each thread. Using precise movements of its legs, the spider pulls silk from its spinners and attaches it to surfaces. Slowly, thread by thread, a web begins to take shape. But spider silk is not only used for webs. Many spiders use silk as a safety line. As they move across branches or walls, they release a thin thread behind them. If they fall, the thread catches them, much like a climber's rope. Other spiders use silk to protect their eggs. They wrap their eggs in protective silk sacs that shield them from predators and environmental dangers. Some species even use silk as a means of travel. Dung spiders sometimes climb to high points and release long silk strands into the air. The wind catches the threads and carries the spider away. The behavior is known as pluming. It allows spiders to disperse across great distances, sometimes traveling kilometers through the sky, even landing on ships far out at sea. Scientists have been studying spider silk for decades. Architects of the web. As evening approaches, a quiet transformation begins in gardens, forests, and even the corners of our homes. A spider emerged from its hiding place, carefully stepping across surfaces. It begins a delicate construction project. What follows is one of the most precise architectural processes in the natural world. The building of a spider web. For many species, web construction begins with a single thread. The spider releases a strand of silk into the air. The wind carries the thread until it catches on a nearby surface. Once anchored, the spider carefully walks across the line, reinforcing it to create a strong bridge. Their first strand becomes the foundation for the entire structure. From the bridge line, the spider begins building a framework. Additional threads extend outward like the spokes of a wheel. The radial lines connect the center of the web to the outer edges. Next comes the spiral. Starting near the center, the spider moves outward in a circular pattern, laying temporary threads. Later, the threads are replaced with sticky captured silk. The sticky spiral is what ultimately traps insects that collide with the web. The final structure is both elegant and efficient. Many spider webs form nearly perfect circles. Their geometry allows the web to absorb the energy of flying insects without breaking. And every thread plays a specific role. The radial threads provide strength. The spiral threads capture prey. The outer frame anchors the entire web to surrounding surfaces. But the web is not only a trap, it's also a sensory system. When an insect strikes the web, vibrations travel through the silk threads. The spider, waiting near the center or hidden nearby, feels the vibrations through its legs. Each movement sends information through the web. The size of the prey, the location, even the type of insect struggling within the silk. Using the signals, the spider decides how to respond. If the prey is small, the spider quickly approaches and delivers a bite. If the prey is larger, the spider may first wrap it in silk to prevent escape. The ability to interpret vibrations makes the web function almost like an extension of the spider's nervous system. A network of silk that expands the spider's awareness beyond its own body. Z webs are not permanent structures. Wind, rain, and struggling prey gradually damage them. Many spiders rebuild their webs regularly. Some even consume parts of the old silk before constructing a new web, recycling valuable proteins to produce fresh strands. That process may repeat night after night, a continued cycle of destruction and rebuilding. Each new web, carefully crafted with precision, but not all spiders rely on webs to capture prey. Some have evolved very different hunting strategies. Hunters without webs. While many spiders are known for their intricate webs, not all spiders rely on silk traps to catch their prey. In fact, some of the most fascinating spiders are active hunters. They do not wait for insects to become trapped. They taste them, stalk them, or leap toward them with remarkable precision. Among the most impressive of the hunters are jumping spiders. Jumping spiders are small, often only a few millimeters long, that they possess something unusual among spiders. Excellent vision. Most spiders rely heavily on vibrations and touch to sense their surroundings. But jumping spiders have large forward-facing eyes that provide sharp, detailed sight. The eyes allow them to observe prey from a distance. They can track movement just distance and plan their approach carefully. When a jumping spider spots an insect, it does not rush forward immediately. Instead, it begins a slow and cautious stalk. Step by step, it moves closer, its body low, its movements deliberate. When the distance is just right, the spider suddenly leaps. Using powerful muscles in its legs, it launches itself to the air. The jump may cover many times the spider's own body length. And just before it jumps, the spider releases a thin silk safety line behind it. If the leap fails, the spider can climb back up the thread and try again. This behavior gives jumping spiders a hunting style more similar to cats than to insects. Another group of active hunters are not wolf spiders. These spiders roam across the ground rather than waiting in webs. They hunt at night, moving silently through grass, sorrow, and leaf litter. Wolf spiders rely on both vibration and vision to locate prey. Their strong legs allow them to sprint quickly toward insects that cross their path. Unlike web-building spiders, wolf spiders often pursue their prey directly, grabbing it with powerful jaws before delivering a venomous bite. Some wolf spiders also display remarkable parental care. After laying eggs, the female wraps them in a silk egg sac. She carries the sac attached to her body, protecting it wherever she goes. When the eggs hatch, hundreds of tiny spiderlings climb onto the mother's back. For a short time, she carries them with her as they grow stronger. It's a rare example of maternal care among arachnids. There are also pest hunters among spiders. Crab spiders, for example, hide on flowers. Their bodies often match the color of the petals, white, yellow, or pale green, blending almost perfectly into their surroundings. Instead of chasing prey, these spiders wait patiently. When a bee or butterfly lands on the flower, the spider strikes instantly, grabbing the insect before it can escape. In this way, spiders have evolved many different strategies for survival. Some weave complex traps. Others rely on speed, stealth, or camouflage. Each method shaped by millions of years of evolution. But regardless of their hunting style, spiders all share an important ecological role. They help control insect populations. In the next part, we will explore how spiders influence ecosystems around the world and why these small predators are essential for maintaining balance in nature. Spiders and the balance of nature. Although spiders often go unnoticed, their impact on natural world is enormous. Across forests, wetlands, and even cities, spiders are constantly hunting. At night, millions of small predators move quietly through the environment, searching for insects. Individually, a single spider may capture only a few prey items. But when we consider the number of spiders living across the planet, the scale becomes astonishing. Scientists estimate that spiders collectively consume hundreds of millions of tons of insects every year. This makes them one of the most important natural regulators of insect populations. Without spiders, many ecosystems would look very different. Insects reproduce rapidly. Some species can multiply in enormous numbers when conditions are favorable. If left unchecked, certain insects could quickly overwhelm plants, crops, and even entire habitats. Spiders help keep the populations under control. They prey on flies, mosquitoes, beetles, moths, grasshoppers, and countless other small creatures. Because spiders live in nearly every terrestrial habitat on Earth, their influence spreads across many ecosystems. In forests, spiders hunt among leaves and branches. In croplands, they hide among tall plants. In wetlands, they build webs near water. And in cities, they occupy the quiet spaces between human structures. Their hunting activity helps maintain a delicate balance between species. By reducing insect populations, spiders indirectly protect plants. Fewer herbivorous insects means less damage to leaves and vegetation. The effect can ripple through entire ecosystems. Plants remain healthier, other animals find more stable habitats, and the food web maintains its balance. Spiders themselves are also part of their food web. Although they are predators, they are also prey for many animals. Birds frequently feed on spiders, reptiles and amphibians consume them. Certain webs specialize in hunting spiders, paralyzing them to provide food for their larvae. Living inside our homes. For many people, the closest encounters with spiders happen inside their own homes. A web in the corner of a ceiling, a small spider near a window, a delicate thread stretched across a quiet hallway. The encounters may feel unexpected, but for spiders, our homes can be surprisingly suitable habitats. Human buildings create many small environments that resemble the natural shelters spiders prefer. Quiet spaces, protected corners, stable temperatures. And perhaps most importantly, a steady supply of insects. Open windows and doors allow insects to enter. Lights attract moths, flies, and mosquitoes at night. The insects become easy prey for spiders that live nearby. Because of this, houses can function almost like miniature ecosystems. In the corners of rooms, spiders build small webs where flying insects may become trapped. Behind furniture, or along baseboards, hunting spiders patrol quietly for moving prey. In basements, garages, and attics, spiders often find dark spaces that resemble caves or hollow logs. The locations provide shelter from wind, rain, and predators. Some of the most common house spiders belong to species that have adapted specifically to living around humans. The common house spider, for example, builds tangled webs in corners and window frames. The webs are not as symmetrical as the orb webs seen outdoors, but they are highly effective at catching insects. Another frequent resident is the sailor spider, sometimes called a daddy long legs. These spiders are known for their long, delicate legs and their habit of hanging upside down in loose webs. When disturbed, they often vibrate rapidly in their webs, making it difficult for predators to see them clearly. Outside our homes, gardens provide another important habitat for spiders. Among plants, fences, and garden structures, spiders build webs and hunt insects that feed on vegetation. In doing so, they help protect plants from excessive insect damage. For gardens, for gardeners, spiders can be valuable allies. A single spider may capture dozens of insects over time, and a garden filled with spiders often means fewer pest insects feeding on leaves and flowers. Despite their usefulness, spiders remain among the most misunderstood animals living alongside humans. Most species are harmless. The correct architects beside Earth. Most of the time, spiders go unnoticed. They move quietly along walls. They hide in corners. They build their delicate structures during the night when few people are watching. Yet their presence surrounds Earth almost everywhere. In gardens, in forests, in fields, and inside the spaces we call home. For millions of years, spiders have been shaping the small worlds around them. Thread by thread, they construct webs that capture insects. Step by step, they patrol leaves and branches in search of prey. The tiny hunters have maintained balance in ecosystems across the planet. Without them, insect populations would grow rapidly. Plants would suffer greater damage, and the delicate balance between species would shift. But spiders rarely demand attention. They do not roar like large predators. They do not dominate landscapes with visible power. Instead, they work quietly, efficiently, almost invisibly. A single web stretched across a window frame may catch several insects in a night. A spider hiding among garden leaves may remove dozens more over time. Small actions repeated again and again. And multiplied by millions of spiders across the world. In that way, spiders become silent guardians of the environments we share. That perhaps the most remarkable thing about spiders is how closely they live beside us. Many species have adapted to human environments. They use our buildings as shelter. Our lights attract the insects they hunt. Our gardens provide the vegetation and insects that sustain them. Without realizing it, humans and spiders often share the same spaces. A quiet coexistence that has lasted for generations. But once we begin to notice spiders, something changes. The thin strands of silk become visible. The tiny hunters reveal themselves. The corners of rooms and gardens begin to feel less empty. Instead of blank spaces, they become small ecosystems filled with hidden life. And perhaps that is one of the most important lessons spiders offer. Nature is not something that exists only in distant wilderness. It exists all around us, in the small lit spaces, in the quiet corners we rarely examine, in the delicate grafts built by creatures only a few centimeters long. The next time you notice a spider web catching the morning light, pause for a moment, look closely, follow the threads. Somewhere nearby, a spider is waiting patiently. Continuing a tradition of architecture and hunting that began hundreds of millions of years ago, a silent architect living beside us, helping shape the hidden world we share.